Hello, how are you? I hope you're doing well tonight. I am. I've got a new spring project. We're going to use the Hello Spring Patterns transfer. So come hang out with me for a few minutes. A little bit more than a few minutes, but you know what I mean. And I want to craft together. So I'm trying to find my keyword. There it goes. Okay, here we go. Keyword is ready to go. It is the word spring. Let me find my video and then we'll start getting to it. So I have this door hanger. It's shaped like an egg. I already pre-painted it white. And then it has these pieces that fit together. It's sort of like a quilt. Hi Cinnamon, how are you? All right. And I already split it up, so I'll show you in a minute how exactly I did that. The splitting it up part, so that I didn't get pieces that were right next to each other. If I picked them randomly, it would be probably messed up. So I'm just going to use a makeup sponge. This is the new Paste Color Lime Sorbet. And I'm going to have to do 2 coats. I should have started out with a coat already, but I didn't. So here we are. Sorry. I wish I would have prepped this, but I did not. Anyway, if you're not a member of my broadcast channel yet, you can comment the keyword to get notifications whenever I go live. If you just comment the word spring and then click the link and you will be able to join my broadcast channel there. And that's where I send out notifications whenever I go live. Okay? So, as I told y'all, Facebook is ever changing, so I'm having to figure out new ways to do things. I swear, constantly. It's very difficult having any kind of social media presence because it's forever changing how things work. All right. Trying to kind of even that out so that it's not all... Hi, Joanne. How are you? I saw your payment. I'm going to cut that tomorrow after work, okay? Or, I take it back. I have it cut. I'm going to ship it tomorrow. I don't know what's wrong with me. My brain only partially fires sometimes, you know? I forgot I already cut your stuff for you. I don't know. You know... It's been a long day. So today I went to the dealership to go get my oil changed on the Expedition, which is always a fun time, you know, because they're consistently telling me what's wrong with my car every time I take it anywhere to have it done, you know. They didn't bring me any air filters or anything. And shockingly, the oil change was very reasonable, okay? I'm not going to tell you how much it was because people might be shocked that I think that it's reasonable, but I feel like it was definitely comparable to what I would pay if I took it to like a Jiffy Lube or something, okay, which is the only reason that I was willing to do it. Plus I knew that they would inspect my car and they'll take care of like any stuff that's wrong with it, like recalls and stuff like that while I have it there. Hi Dawn, how are you? I know, me too. This one is great. I don't know why my camera looks kind of, I don't know. It looks like my room is hazy and it's not. So I don't know what's up with that. I need to look at my camera and see what's going on there. But anyways, yes, this is Lime Sorbet, the new one. If you haven't gotten it yet, you can comment the keyword, which is spring, and grab these paste colors. They are in vogue colors, so they're not going to be around forever. Now I am going to have to do a couple of coats, at least 2. But I'm starting with a light, thin coat, and then we'll go from there, okay? To get good coverage. I should have painted these beforehand, but I didn't, so we're here now. And we can hang out together while I do. Anyways, so I go to the dealership, and I thought maybe my brakes were going to be a problem because they've been squeaking lately. And, you know, sometimes when they're squeaky, my brakes need to be done. Sometimes it's just because they're dirty, okay? I've never known which is which, okay? But I figured that I was going to need brakes. And so that again was pretty reasonable. So I got the little text message saying, hey, here's what we want to do to your car. Please approve the stuff, right? And it said that, so I call Chris and I tell him, hey, here's what it's saying. What do you want me to do about it? Here's the dollar amount. What do you want me to do? And he's like, well, I don't want to do it. So go ahead and have them do it. And so I got my brakes done, y'all, and they're not squeaky anymore. Thank goodness. Praise the Lord, because it's been driving me crazy. And it's embarrassing, okay? To be the one where your car is the one that's squeaking every time that you come to a stop, you know? All right, so that's my first coat. I'm going to just set that right over there. And then we're going to move on to this one. We're going to use the color Tropic on this one. And we are going to use that new Lapis color, the blue one, on the other pieces. And I did have to test it because right before my live started, I was thinking like, oh no, I don't even know if this, because it's a shimmer, and not all of the shimmers are created equally. Not all of them are paintable. And so I think it will be. I think it will be good. So I'm glad I tested it, because I was going to have to switch up my plan if it wasn't. And I'm trying to just do one coat with this Tropic. So I don't want it to go on too thick because it'll look cakey. But it's really good coverage. It's nice and dark. So I think I'll be able to get away with just that. So anywho, I'm at the dealership. I took my backpack with my laptop because I knew that I had a meeting and I wasn't sure how long I was going to be sitting there, because sometimes they make you wait a long time whenever you get service. And so I'm checking emails and stuff like that in their little waiting area. And I had gone on my way over there. I went to the store. I got me a Red Bull. I got me a little snack for breakfast. And I'm chilling over there, and I had my laptop sitting on this little side table, and I freaking knocked my Red Bull over, and it spilled on the keyboard. This is my work computer. Y'all, I've never run so fast in my life, okay, to the bathroom to get some napkins, and then I'm like shaking my laptop out onto the carpet and freaking out. So now it's fine so far. It's okay, I think, hopefully. It wasn't a whole lot, but it was enough to make it sticky, which is scary because now that means that the keys are going to be all sticky and gross. Whenever I got home, I wiped it down with a Lysol wipe to try, or Clorox wipe to try and get rid of some of the stickiness. So I'm just crossing my fingers that it didn't actually hurt it. And my IT guy told me to like put it like this with it upside down over a towel to let it dry out. So hopefully that's all I have to do, because if I have to get a new computer, that means that they have to build it for me and mail it to me, and that's going to take a minute, which could be potentially a problem. So I'm considering just telling them, hey, can you go ahead and build me a new computer and send it to me, and then I'll mail this one back to you whenever I get the other one. That's pretty. I like this Tropic color. Okay, and then we have Lapis here. Yes, it's nice to see you too, doll. Okay, now this is a shimmer, so not all shimmers work well as a paint color. And I think this one's going to work. I am going to spread it kind of thin to start, and then we're going to have to come back and do a second coat for sure. We could leave it light, however, okay, if you want. You could just have it be kind of a sheer color, which is not bad. I don't want it to look chunky though, so I'm trying to spread it kind of thin. That's the problem with some of the shimmers, is that they get kind of chunky. But on a small surface like this, you can use a makeup sponge and just kind of spread it. But as you can see, I already painted this one right here earlier just to test it, and it doesn't look bad. I don't hate it. So anywho, yeah, that's what happened to me today. And thank God nobody else was around to witness it or to see me running or any of that to the bathroom to go get towels. But boy, I have been all day freaking out about that. And hopefully, I have to travel next week. So hopefully, and when I travel, I use the keyboard on my computer, on the laptop. So I'm just crossing my fingers that it's going to be okay, because I don't want to have a problem with that. And I hope I don't get in trouble for it. I don't know if I will. I don't think I will, but it was an accident. But still, careless of me. In all these years that I've had a work computer, like a laptop, I've never had an issue ever like this. So hopefully I have good karma. I think I do. And it'll be okay. I'm just crossing my fingers. And if I have to tell my boss, then I'll just have to fess up to it. All right, so there's that. I'm going to put that to the side. We're definitely going to do another layer on that one. And then come back to the lime sorbet one and get this dried. And then we're going to do one more layer on these two. And then we can start putting this all together. And I think this is going to look really cool. Hopefully, the way that I picked the pieces to paint works for me. I don't know. I think it will be fine. I just basically took it and I like picked one and I put it on here, and then I picked the next one, put it on there, and then I did it like that and went in around, like did it in a round so that it would hopefully, I wouldn't have too many that are right next to each other. We'll see. Okay, so that's really nice. I love this green color. It's a great color. It reminds me of like a mint ice cream, you know, mint chocolate chip. I'm not really a fan of that ice cream, but I love the color. All right. So anyway, did any of you have an interesting day today? I also got the wheels rolling on this whole door situation that Dozer knocked out of the back. He broke the dog door, and so we're having to get the back door replaced. And y'all, it's really weird. So I wanted to have Home Depot help me find an installer, okay? Which I know a handyman that I could have probably asked to do it, but I wanted somebody that's a door person to come and do it. Oh gosh. And anywho, I'm sure he's a door person. He could probably do it just fine, but I don't know. I just want somebody that's like really a professional person to do it, right? Not that my guy's not a professional. Anyways, I'm getting off track. So anywho, the guy came on Friday and measured the door and everything, right? And I thought how it was going to work is that he would send me the quote. I would order the door off the internet, off of Home Depot. I would either have it delivered to me or he would go pick it up from the store, right? Bada bing, bada boom, done, right? No, absolutely not. So in order for me to get the measurements, I had to wait until yesterday for Home Depot to message me and say, hey, we have your measurements, have a call with us. And I'm like, what? Why do I have to have a call with you? And this guy that had reached out to me, obviously he wasn't the installer guy, right? He says we need to have a virtual appointment to go over this and all this nonsense. And I'm like, it's a freaking door. It's not like, I don't want you rebuilding my kitchen. We're not doing a bathroom remodel. Like, just get over yourself and send the dude over here so that he can install the dang door, right? How much more painful can you possibly make this for me? Plus, this guy that wanted to have a meeting with me, his calendar is like, he only works 3 days a week, and they're only these weird hours, okay? Which, the hours worked for me, I guess. But I couldn't get an appointment until next Monday. And I'm going, look, I want this thing installed today. I wanted it installed yesterday, okay? I would have had him install it on Friday. if I would have known the size of the door to have the door waiting for the dude, right? And so, anywho, I got real annoyed and I tried to call him during his office hours today and he didn't answer the phone, which sent me over the edge, okay, into crazy town, right? Nothing annoys me more than having very strange office hours and then you don't answer your phone or emails, okay? And so I had asked him, what is the price? Because I still had yet to receive a freaking price for the installation. I know how much the door is going to cost me. What are you going to charge me to install it? Just give me that price, you know? And so I call Home Depot and I'm like, okay, we need to get this ball going because I'm not waiting around for a million years to figure this out. Okay, I cannot continue living this way where we're having to let the dogs out and let them back in and pay attention. I'd rather just them go outside and come back in because they do, you know, they let themselves back in after a few minutes and it's fine. Otherwise, they're standing there waiting at the door, waiting to be let back in. And I'm just not interested in that life, okay? I've got things to do during the day. And anyways, so I talked to this very nice lady and she helped me and got everything situated. It was a little bit less than what I was thinking it was going to be, so that was nice. The cost. And we got the door ordered. And the ball is moving down the court, so I'm very excited about that. Thank goodness, because I'm going to lose my mind if I keep on having to let these dogs in and out. Okay, and I mean, I know this is first world problems, people. I've had a dog door for way too long now, for all of my house in Tennessee pretty much, and there was one whenever we moved in here, and it is the greatest thing ever. So if you have dogs that go in and out and you have a fenced yard and you don't have a dog door, man, you're missing out on life, okay? You're living not your best life and you should definitely think about it. Because the dog door is very important to me. Hi, Susan. How are you? Anyways, so yeah, that's what I'm up to these days, is just complaining about my dog door. I'm going to set this over here one more time. We're going to do this blue one more time. Yeah, it's the greatest thing ever. And I don't know how I never lived with one before, honestly. Well, yeah, so whenever we first moved when I first moved up to Tennessee, I didn't have a dog door on that house. And it was fine. But then when me and Chris would travel, we would have a pet sitter just stop by the house and check on the dogs, okay? They would just let themselves in and out. We would just leave that back door open for them to let themselves in and out, and then she would just stop by, make sure they have food and water, and just check on the house every day. I think twice a day is what I had her coming over, just to check in, you know? Make sure everything was good, especially once our dogs got old enough to where they needed medicine. Then we needed someone giving them their medicine and stuff. But that thing was a godsend at that house. And so whenever we moved in this house and it already had a dog door, it was like, oh yeah. The funny thing is that our dog door was small, which is probably why Dozer ripped it off ripped the glass out of it, because I imagine it was probably too small for his body, and he would go throwing his full body weight into it, and he's a solid 75 pounds every day of his life. So this turned out really good. I'm liking this as a paint. It does have a little bit of a fluctuation. I could probably do one more layer to make it perfect, but I really like it a lot. Okay. I can't really tell if you can see the shimmer. I think you can. The lights in here are so bright that it's kind of hard to see sometimes, if that makes any sense at all. I do see a little bit of the glittery effect. But this blue is not as shimmery as some of the others, like the shimmer shadow and like shimmer crimson. Those are super glittery. This one is not as in your face glittery. Okay, let me put these both over there so that that can all dry and we can use it again. Get this all dry. We'll pull these off too. And now these are all mixed up, so it'll be really a fun little puzzle to put back together. I do love a puzzle. Anybody else? Jigsaw puzzles, they are life, I tell you what. I used to, well, I still have a dining room table, but I used to, in my dining room, whenever I lived in Houston the first time, I would set up a puzzle on that table in there, and I would just go in there. I would spend hours putting a puzzle together. Just, like, the time would get away from me. Yeah. Dozy indeed. Hi, Dee. Everyone say hi to our favorite groomer ever. Oh, God. Dozer heard your name, and he's on his way. He is obsessed with you. Okay? I can't even speak your name in this house without him losing it. And like on the days that he comes to see you, to get him to get out of his bed, because Dozer does not just get out of the bed in the morning. You have to do, it's like a weird routine that he has where he lays in the bed for a solid 30 to 45 minutes after I'm up and showered and dressed. Before he actually comes to life and gets up. The weirdest dog ever, y'all. Anyways, like, we just open the kennel and he just lays in there. And you gotta go over and pet him. Or you gotta say that he's coming to see you and tell him that that's happening. Or go and get ice. There's only 3 ways. And if you pet him, you have to pet him a lot. You can't just like, oh, I'm going to pet you. No, you have to like pet him on his face. It's a whole thing. And then at night, he insists that it's time to go to bed around 9 o'clock. And starts like pushing you towards the room and because he's a herding dog, you know. He's very peculiar little guy. He's such a sweet boy. I agree. He's a good boy. He's a great dog. I lucked out with him. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So this is, I don't know if you can see, but it's scored, okay? So you'll be able to see where the pieces go. Thank goodness, because if not, we would be in a world of hurt, okay? Now, that doesn't go there. Okay, I see. Now, I am kind of randomly picking these up, which is probably, here he is. He's probably going to come over here and sniff around a little bit. So you might catch a glimpse of Dozy Boy. He's a good boy. Let's see. Now, when I send this to you, I'm going to send it to you on the board, put in the right spots, okay? So whenever you paint it, you can take it apart however you want to. But I do advise you to make sure that whenever you're picking the ones to paint, that you try not to just randomly start painting them. And I'm already seeing that some of these I could have done better about separating them, but it's fine. I think as we get more pieces on here, it might be better. But I had them all in the board in the right places, and I picked them up, and I had my 3 boards with my tape on them ready to go. I think this one goes over here. Maybe. Let me see. I think so. Hold on. Anyway, I picked them up and I set them on the boards, and I just like did one after the other, and this is a problem, but that's okay, I guess. I could repaint that one to blue maybe, if I decide that I picked that's the right one for that spot. Oh, I thought I'm missing a piece, and then I see it right here. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to paint that one. Well, you know, this isn't terrible. I don't hate it at all. Okay. So now I need to make sure that it's all lined up. So there are holes to hang this from. Okay. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to start gluing here in just a minute, but I'm going to leave that for a minute to be, this is going to be really cute. Now, I'm going to use Shimmer Shadow because it's my favorite and I can't be helped, okay? No one's going to be able to help me from this addiction of, Shimmer Shadow just has a chokehold on me and I can't possibly get out from under it, okay? So if you are watching this and you're like, oh my god, she uses Shimmer Shadow way too much. Well, it's true, okay? I know I have a problem. I don't intend to quit. So I'm sorry, okay? I'm not that sorry though, because I'm not going to change. It's just who I am, okay, as a person. So I apologize if you don't like it. But I think it's going to be nice. So I'm going to just fuzz this a few little times. I'm not going to wax or anything on these words, on the letters, because I think it'll be fine without waxing. I am, however, going to try and put the letters down all together like I like to do and make my life really, I say it makes it easier, but I don't know if it actually makes it easier because it is kind of difficult to place them like this. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Sometimes an S and an N is confusing on how it goes. Okay, so there we go. Now, hopefully the letters are spaced well enough on this transfer that we can put it on here all at the same time. Now, sometimes you can't do this because the letters will be too close together and the cutouts are like 6.25 bigger, or 0.625 bigger than the transfer to give you the little edge around them, okay? And that sometimes is just too much space. I'm trying to give myself a little bit of slack here. It's sometimes just too much space to be able to fit them right next to each other at the same time. So this seems to work. Let me redo this. Now, you could totally use this, the patterns on here. There's a layered, like, floral pattern with, I don't know, I haven't really looked that closely at what this pattern is supposed to be, but, and then there's some stripes, too, that you could totally use on this egg if you wanted to. Or just leave it simple with the colorful pattern. Okay, you decide. Now, this is where I say my N. Oh, I see it. Okay, so this N has like a little indent at the bottom right there. So on the transfer, you can see it. That's helpful. All right. Anyway, if we get these all put on here like this, then I can just use the paste once and not have to fiddle with it. And dealing with the transfer with paste on it, trying to add new letters to it is not my favorite task, okay? Because then you're messy and you're getting paste everywhere and it's just not the enjoyable experience that I want it to be with crafting, because I'm a messy crafter. And if I make more of a mess, it just, it's not great for me. So this is Shimmer Shadow. And I'm going to just begin at the beginning and go over this. I'm going to give a really nice layer, okay? That was way too much here. But I want to make sure that I have a good thickness of paste, and I can scrape it off, of course, but sometimes I find that with the light color underneath that I go too lightly with the paste, and then I end up having like light spots. Anybody else experience that when putting paste on? Because I do it to myself, and it makes it look like it's a little rustic, which isn't probably terrible all the time, but sometimes that's not what I want. And I notice it the most whenever I have a super light surface underneath. Usually it's white. Alright, here we go. Now I should probably pull that hello off of here, but I think I'm going to finish this fast enough. And shimmer paste does take just a little bit longer to dry. I guess it's because of the glitter in it. I don't know. Than matte. So I think it'll be okay to not pull it off right away and finish off my letters. And then pull it off. But if you question it, you might want to do paste and pull those letters off as you go. It's up to you. Oh, I'm going to, and that's exciting tonight because this is going to be messy and it's going to mess up. It's going to stain my transfer for sure if I don't use Dawn. I'm excited. I love a good transformation. Okay, there's that. I'm liking this lime green or this lime sorbet in the background a lot. Okay. Along the edges. This is very nice. You can comment the word spring to grab the cutouts to get this transfer in the paste that I used. And on my chalk site, this order, you can get your color of the month. Now that's stuck together. I don't care. Okay, I'm going to throw it over here, pick it up, and just chuck it over there because when I wash it, I'm going to put water on it. And that's going to help it lubricate to pull up off of each other. Okay, I don't want to try and remove it from itself while it's dry like it is right now because you can tear the transfer. Okay, so don't do that. Just go and run it underwater. It's totally fine. I could actually take that and ball it up into a ball on itself and like stick it all together, and you would think, oh no, this is ruined. No, it wouldn't be ruined. This looks fabulous. I'm loving it a lot. So now for gluing all my little pieces together, okay, I'm going to just start. All right. So I'm going to begin with I think I see, this is where I wish I had a Lazy Susan, because if I did, it would make it so much easier to turn this thing to be able to see each edge. Now I'm doing the edge pieces down here first, and I'm lining it up with the edge and using my thumb, okay, and just pushing it up to that edge with my thumb. A little bit of stick fast goes a long way. Oh my gosh, you know what I did earlier, y'all? I have this other super glue in the other room. I am going to pull these off really fast so I can get in here. I have this super glue in the other room. It's that really strong one anyways. And usually it's a gel, okay? It's never liquid whenever it comes out of the container, right? And so I shook it up really good because usually it takes some shaking to get it to work. And I'm going to pull these off too so I can get in here. Anyways, I shook it up. It was all good, right? Everything was great. I was gluing something together in there, and for whatever stupid reason, okay, y'all, I'm an idiot sometimes. I do admit it, okay? At least I'm here to admit it. That my brain is only partially functioning for the majority of my day, all right? Anyways, so I shake it up real good, and I had my leg up, like up here, and I'm like gluing, right? That glue came out liquid, and I'm talking liquid. It squirted all over my hand, okay? All down my foot, all over the top and bottom of my foot. I had two toes stuck together. I glued my finger to my toe, okay? Y'all, I was losing it, okay? I was freaking out because I'm like, oh my God, I'm glued together. I've got glue everywhere, all over me, all over my foot. I could not believe it. I have it on the bottom of my toe, okay? And between my toes, all over my hand. I mean, I'm talking down the middle of my fingers, on almost every one of my fingers. Like I said, the middle of my toes, two of my toes were stuck together. Okay, I had to pry those apart. My brain only partially functions, I tell you. Okay, I'm telling you that because I don't know what I was even thinking because, well, I was thinking it's gel and it doesn't come out liquid is what I was thinking. Okay. But it did come out liquid. That's my problem, is it was a lie this time. Okay. It came out liquid and it went everywhere. And I still used it. I just waited for it to dry on my hands. Still used it. And then I came in here. And normally I would just use like an emery board. If I get it like on my fingers, just like that, and it comes off. I got this baby, okay? You can see where I took it and sanded my hands and the top of my feet. Y'all, what is wrong with me, okay? I swear. I have about 2 brain cells in here sometimes, all right? And they're not all active. They're only, maybe one of them works at a time. I might be sharing brain cells with someone else in this house. I don't know, but it was a really interesting afternoon, I'll tell you. Okay, so Dozer, what are you doing over here? Can I help you? He's here. Dee, if you're still here, he's joined the party. Can you please go somewhere? I don't know what he's sniffing around for over here, but this is Dozer. He's got to be the center of attention all the time. Let me make sure all of these are glued in. Okay, because sometimes I'm afraid I'm going to miss one. I think that turned out pretty good. Now, there's too many green ones next to each other down here. It's fine. I'm okay with it. Okay, I think it's pretty darn cute, actually. And then I want to space this out. Now, the spring's going to hang over just a little bit, okay? So you could probably pull it together some so that it doesn't hang over so much or at all. I don't know. Let's see how the spacing needs to be to make it work. Yeah, it does need to hang off a little bit, okay? But you want to make sure that you have it spaced correctly so that it doesn't look dumb, okay? There we go. That's pretty cute. So let's start with the word hello. So yeah, that's what I was dealing with after work today, was gluing myself to myself. And I'm talking, so much glue came out of that, and it was all liquid, and I was not ready for that to happen to me today. And Chris was standing there in the kitchen, he saw it happen, and I just like screeched in alarm. And he's like, what the hell are you doing? And I said, I just squirted this glue all over me. And he just laughed and went into the other room. Didn't even bother to try and stick around and help me. Pretty rude, actually. Now, I'm trying to keep this straight. I should have probably used a straight edge or something, but did I? No, absolutely not. I'm testing my ability, and hopefully it'll work. All right. I'm glad you guys love him so much, Cinnamon, because he really does love you guys so much. Seriously, Dozer is like your biggest fan. I swear. And I mean, he wants to go everywhere. Whenever we leave, whenever I leave, he wants to go with me because I let him ride in the car a lot with me, just random places, you know. Oh, I need to just run up to wherever. I'm gonna take Dozer with me if I'm not getting out of the car, you know. And so he thinks it's his job is to do a ride along with me. And then whenever he's getting to go see you guys, he is just super pumped about it. Now, I'm threading this through here, and I cut this way too long, okay? But I don't want this to be very long. I just want it to be enough to have a hook in it and that be it. So I'm going to actually tighten it a little bit more than what I want it to be, and I'm going to tie a knot right down here so that whenever I get my knot in it, it'll be the right length that I wanted, okay? And I should probably add a dot of hot glue on there on the back, or I guess maybe stick fast would work, I don't know, so that I don't think that knot's going to come through the hole, okay? It doesn't look like it's going to, but that's what we're working with, okay? I'm going to trim this a little bit more. Usually I would put just a little dab of hot glue, but I didn't heat up my hot glue gun, so I'm not going to worry about it this time. But that's what we have. What do you guys think? You can comment the word spring to go grab this cutout yourself. It's on my Etsy and all of the stuff that I use. I hope you love this as much as I do. I think it turned out super duper cute. Love you all. Thanks for joining me tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Good night.